I got
Okay.
it. I turned it up.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So you're gonna hold it.
Yeah.
All right. So
My name's Celine. I am a content creator and I just started my own company 2 weeks ago. I have big dreams to move abroad one day, and I'm 5'3", 25. I'm 25 years old, and I'm super excited to do this interview. So I was named after Celine Dion, and my cousin always says that she's the one who gave me the name because my mom was going to name me Kimball. She's like, Celine sounds a little better. So thanks. Thanks for saving me from being bullied. So I do a lot of things. I feel like I can never sit still, and I really think that those are my favorite type of people because there's always some great stories to tell. But I make content around mindfulness and self-help, and also I run a lot, so I kind of try to tie that into it. People usually say, like, why do you do that? I think I do that because my mind is just constantly running and I need something to just release all the tension. I have a lot of ADHD, and that's just a great way for me to like put all my energy somewhere. This year I ran my first marathon and I had to do it in San Diego because it's where I was raised. So yeah, that was really hard, but I know that people tend to run marathons when they turn like 25. I think that's a thing. Like, quarter life crisis is definitely a marathon. I just started my agency this year, and it's like a growth agency where we try to get people clients, which is amazing because I used to have experience in sales, and I now am an operations analyst at a company. I throw events around Dallas. I think this year I threw around 22 events, and they've just been a really great growth or stretch opportunity for me because the one biggest thing that I've learned from that is you can invite whoever and you just can't really take it too personally when they don't show up. But it's really pushed me to expand my wings, and really at the core of my message and what I really stand for is creating a community. So it's been a great growth opportunity this year. So in college, I went to UCLA and I studied public affairs, and it's like a mix of economics and political science. But at the time, I really thought I could change the world. Well, like, the government's kind of weird right now, and now I work within like a consulting firm, and I'm an operations analyst in like the federal government innovation sector. So it kind of relates. But something that I've noticed is like a lot of people don't have a job related to their career unless it's super technical. So that's what I stumbled upon. I love to do, I feel like I love to read. I love writing. I love running, only because I feel like I think a lot. Like, I've always journaled, but Substack is where I put all of my just thoughts on what I've read, but also I talk a lot about my experiences in life, and it's just a great way for me to express myself. But I love like self-help books because I'm always trying to find different answers to things, and I think that a lot of my anxiety comes from not knowing something, and my brain immediately goes to try to make sense of things. So that's why self-help books are something that I just kind of lean into whenever I feel anxious. I create mindfulness content because I have like I could just talk for hours about self-help, and something that I recently realized was like self-help is innately so selfish. And everybody talks about like developing individualism, you know, finding out what you like, setting boundaries, and all can really lead you into siloing yourself and being really lonely. And a part of what I was looking into recently is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and how at the top it's like self-actualization. But I think we've all been kind of interpreting that part wrong. Like, what I'm trying to spread awareness on is having to self-actualize and being a mirror to a lot of other people around you in your community, allowing them to feel safe completely as themselves, but also creating spaces where it brings us back to feeling like we're in villages again, like how we've evolved over time. So self-actualization is really a journey into ourself, but also if we do it in a selfless way, we can make the world a better place. My favorite comments have always been around, oh, I've actually just been through that. Like, thank you so much for writing this, or thank you so much for making content around this, because that's exactly what I've just been through. And art within its core is just so important to me, because I think we all go through similar pains and similar obstacles in life, and it just really makes it a beautiful journey just to create, so you can make someone else feel seen. What creativity means to me is, of course, self-expression, but to be spiritual in the artist way, what Doshi really refers to in her journey of expressing, she is truly an artist who creates because God is a creator, and if he created you, then it's your voice to create so you can inspire other people, but it also is a way of transmuting your pain. And so in this book, The Second Brain, he talks about Taylor Swift, and he's talking about the systems that she had in regards to writing down all of the things that she has experienced, but metaphorically great ideas that she puts in her notes app, and that's how she made Blank Space, which is obviously everybody knows that song. But that tells me that art is truly at its core a way to express that we all kind of go through a lot of the same pains and a lot of the same phases. And in the phase of a breakup, for example, you have to detach, but your brain is kind of always trying to find an answer, and she's just expressing that in her music. And I think creativity to me is just at its core so beautiful. It makes other people understand your point of view, but it also gives a chance for other people to relate to you. I think at our core, if everybody could have all the money in the world that they could have, everyone would be an artist. It's just so fun. It brings us back to our childhood, and it's so amazing to make art. And art to me is a way of transmuting your pain into something that's relatable, that makes other people feel like they're not alone. But it's also a way to just tell a story about what's going on in life, because I think there's a through line between what everybody experiences, and no one's ever alone in experiencing the same things. I have a theory where there are phases in life where everyone's kind of hitting the same themes. For example, something I talk about a lot is in your 20s, you run into this first phase where you're trying to figure everything out. There's so many accolades that you're set to meet. People give you gold stars for stuff. And you already have this goalpost. And then you have a job, and you kind of run into this pain that you're not really fulfilled or driven by anything purposeful. But a 9-to-5 job isn't made to make you feel like you have purpose. That within ourselves is just our journey, something that we have to take upon ourselves. And what I think is through those two parts of our experience, it creates so much different pathways for people. And we all go through this trial period where we have to try a bunch of things, and then you reach burnout. And that is just an example of what everyone kind of tends to go through. And art is just a way of expressing all of this commonality that we have as humans. Another form of art I love is sculpting. I haven't done it in a while, but I love sculpting. I think I want to get back into it. There's this book called Sapiens, and he talks about how humans have evolved from villages, and it was a necessary thing. And now what we see is big corporations, our 9 to 5s are a form of villages that we all are underneath, like an umbrella. I think community means having the ability to really connect with someone without words. And community is also within itself like being seen by other people on a personal level. I think community is so important because there's also this like Harvard study that talks about how loneliness is one of the biggest factors of like health risks. And nowadays within our capitalistic society, it's so much more important than ever to spend time cultivating a community around yourself. And that whole saying of like, you're the average of the 5 people in your life, that is also like a propellant. It's like if you are super driven, it's almost like you're putting gasoline into your passion that you have. So community is really, really important. Growing up, I had 5 dogs and they would all run around. And I actually wrote my college application on I wrote my college application on training the dogs to go through like an obstacle course that I built in my backyard because I really wanted at the time to go into urban planning, but who knew that having 5 dogs could really like get me into college. So originally I'm from San Diego, Carlsbad area, and what makes DFW so different is the fact that I feel like a lot of people are really open to becoming your friends and like supporting you. It gives a small town vibe. Like everybody kind of meets. I mean, you go out and you see somebody you know, and they probably know somebody else you know, and it's just such a small world here. Yeah. A lot of people like move here to work, so there's also that. It's like a concrete jungle for sure. This is so good. This is so good. I would say, like Layla, it's like such a amazing thing to listen to. So I love Leve. She is so good. What's so special about me? Wow, that's a great question. I feel like whenever I'm at the airport, people tend to open up to me. I always hear the craziest stories from strangers, and I think I just have like that face or that energy where people can feel like they're comfortable, and I really like that. I think something else that's special about me is that I've always been super curious about different people's perspectives. I think there's always something to learn from every conversation you have, and it just makes life so much more interesting. There's a lot of things that are special about me.
List them all.
Okay. I feel like I really enjoy dreaming or thinking really big. Like, I love talking about that with my friends and making sure that like it's something that's tangible that you can do. Ever since I was little, I've always felt like the world was my oyster and that anything's possible. And I feel like that's really special about who I am today, because not only does it really make me think that everything's in my control, which is not, obviously, but it's nice to believe, and it's nice to kind of like spread that energy around. I would say I am a really good friend. I try to be a really good friend and put myself in other people's shoes whenever I'm talking to them. I feel like I'm special because I have this like drive that's driven by anxiety, which you would think it's not really that. You would think it's a bad thing to have anxiety, but I think anxiety is one of the biggest things that makes someone really a big dreamer who can make something real. Like, not to toot my own horn here, but everything that I have like manifested so far has come true, and I don't want to ever stop. I think life is so special because it's like made to experience, and there's just so much that one person could possibly do in their life. They just put their head down and made it come true. So that's what's special about me. Oh, I know another one. This year, it's like a new thing for me. I feel like I can act like completely myself in a lot of situations, and I'm really proud of that because it's taken so long to get there, but I finally realized that like that is one of the biggest ways that you attract other people that are just also in their own lane, also not concerned or jealous, or they're always kind of pouring back into you because they've poured so much back into themselves. And by throwing like those events this year, it's just really made me believe that everybody's just trying their best out here, and magnetizing that energy to me recently has been one of the biggest game changers, just by always being myself.
Were you being yourself currently?
Yeah, being myself currently? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I work out to Justin Timberlake. This album especially is so good. Like, iconic. This will always be a classic, really. Yeah, so during high school, me and my friend Jenny would just geek out about ABBA and Mamma Mia. And that was like summer. That was summer of 2018, 2017. And I'm from a beach town in Carlsbad. And it was just like, it's such a sweet memory for me.